Yeah, I worked it out. The kids were downloading inside the house, had uni assignments and stuff to download, so they had enormous amounts of data they had to download, which stopped me from uploading. Yeah, I worked it out. The kids were downloading. And now we got echo. That is a really horrendous. Why does that look so bad? Oh, because it's 114p. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, close that down so I don't get echo. That should make it a little bit more pleasant. What else we got? There we go. Webcam options, right, light. Does autofocus help? Or is autofocus going to drive me crazy again? I really should be working rather than doing video, but rather than doing live feeds, but I really do get bored in this shed. That autofocus is going to piss me off. There we go. That's the best version of me I can give you. Looks all right. Not as bad as last time. Ah, damn it. I burnt myself so bad before it hurts. Ask me some questions. I'm going to pay attention, I promise. It's not just me walking around. It's a terrible burn. W. See if this plan works. I should be able to get a live stream over here. I actually don't want a new page. Rightio. I've got my chat on that computer, so I can chat on that computer. And you can look at the back of my head, and I don't know if you can hear me because the microphone's there. That doesn't make any sense. I'll be an attentive little chicken for now. What did I ask you? I can't remember. Clearly wasn't that important. I should is it fine even when I'm standing over there? Can you hear me sitting over here? I can't see myself, but I can hear myself. No, you can't hear me over here, can you? That is awful. Back to your camera. That can't be. Oh, there you go. It's great. Back to the camera can't be a good look though. I didn't want to risk trying it on this laptop again because it was so horrible last time. I really got to finish making this other video. but it's much nicer now. It's only like 28 degrees or something here. Still hot, but not horrible. 3 viewers. I'm boring people to death. My sincere apologies. I do too many live feeds. Too many. What's going on over here? This computer is so slow. Oh, the batteries didn't even fully charge today. I wonder if I can do that. That's Celsius. Is Fahrenheit any different? I don't know. Facebookers. Oh, look at that. I never realized that did that. Focus. Yes. Do you want to see the back of my head while I talk, or do you want to see the screen capture? The screen capture works because then I can be sitting over the other side. There you go, 612. We're still putting in 0.5 amp into the batteries. 28 watts. 55 volts. I wonder how long I can let that go. It's always interesting to see how people work on these things. Yeah, it's probably not that interesting. I don't think people really will ever understand how long it takes to work on them until they actually do it themselves. For instance, this pack here, I put one cell in upside down. And it's taken me 2 hours to do one pack because I had to desolder everything because I didn't check it when I did it. And you know, that's my fault, but still time. It makes you enjoy it a lot less too. Is it better or worse with the screen capture watching how boring my power usage is? I should do it on a day when I can really crank some power into those batteries from the solar panels. Maybe put a camera, a webcam or something outside and attach the webcam to the computer so you can see the weather and you can see the input into the batteries and all that sort of stuff. Watch cloud edge happen. I'm not altogether sure that the computer would be capable of running a camera as well. It's a pretty slow old computer. Yeah, ripping the packs apart. Oh, ripping the packs apart you can get into. What seasons do you have in Brisbane? Do you have any really cloudy times that affect your production? Yeah, we have cloud. It's not like anywhere else in the world, I guess, but I guess it's a fair combination of both. It's not more one than the other, really. Like this morning, it was all cloudy, and then really good for through the middle of the day, and then cloudy again in the afternoon. But I guess that's when you have enough panels to cover the bad times and the good, not just the good. McGlue, come off. That's not good. And I'm not oh, no, that's not good. I want that. That is a terrible solder. The glue's not even on there. Yeah, I'm not going to like that very much. There you go, made 26.89 kilowatt hours today. So that's probably considered a bad day. Not a horrible day, but 10 kilowatt hours short. This will give you an indication of whenever it loads. This is Bluetooth. Yeah, 17 kilowatt hours, got 35 kilowatt hours, 28, 22, 35, 35, 30, 25, 28, 31, 28, 22, and 26 kilowatt hours. That's from my main, that's my TL5000 the SMA inverter with 6,000 watts of panels on it. But if you cut that in 4, that's typically the production I get that goes into my batteries. Divide it in half, sorry. Half would not be in 4s. Wind. So wind, we get hardly any wind, and my daughter's home. 2 daughters are home. We don't get very much wind, and the wind we do get is like orientation of my house. That's the front of my house, and that's the back of my house, the back of my property. That way is due north, which is where on the shed roof above me, that's where all the solar panels face on a 15-degree angle, I think, due north. And then I've got half of my grid tie panels north, and then half of them west in the setting sun. So with the wind, we're not really in a ditch or anything, but we're not really on top of a hill. And across the road, we've got a primary school, and they've got massive gum trees, and then we've got gum trees all along the side of the road as well. With all the buildings and stuff, the turbulence is too much. And of course, with council rules and regulations, you can't go too high, and you can't have a spinny thing close to trees or something like that. So there's rules and regulations that stop me from even thinking about a wind turbine. Up the sleeve, yeah, another live stream. This is my 4th one today because 2 of them died, unfortunate and quick deaths. Oh, the UK would have to have a combo of solar, wind, and geothermal, in my opinion. Yeah. I don't know about this geothermal thing. I mean, I don't know what happens when you start. I guess taking the heat out of the earth is a good thing. I don't know. I always thought if you took too much out of it, it'd affect something. But then I just thought to myself that, well, what about running a wood stove or whatever else would have the same effect? So I stopped thinking what I was thinking. Work out how it is so I can re-stick that back down again. I have to break my metal sploger again. I think I'm going to have to do less live feeds so they're not so boring. I do apologise for that. I know the Earth's going. It's not going to cool around here. I'll set fire to it. Oh god, that's got to be the worst hack job ever. Luckily, this is a bit of a test pack. I don't think this pack will even be in for more than a couple of days. Great haircut. Is it better than the last one? Considering the last one I didn't get a haircut for 2.5 years. Man, this shit's feral. I hate them. Ah. Bloody goes bloody goes everywhere. Sticky, goopy mess. Okay, here we go. You can splooge that into that hole. Oh, that's feral. No. It's like an Exxon Valdez, just bloody pop the gasket. Just I stuffed that up big time. This is the sort of shit you don't see on. You edit out these sorts of mistakes. Let's see if we can clean this up. I don't know how solder's ever going to stick to that. Burn some of it off, I guess. I think we're just going to have to create some fumes to fix that mess. Bloody gets everywhere. I desperately want to get this pack online, I tell you. My face looks thinner. My face can never look thinner because I eat too many Tim Tams. I need to go on a diet. But my wife being on a diet all the time doesn't make me want to lose weight. It makes me want to get a pizza, if I should be honest. They are not boring. We're very appreciative. You're offering great insights on what the rest of us are contemplating solar options can do. What pack am I working on now? 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. My 41st pack. 41. Holy shit. That's insane. It made me think of that. 41 packs. Okay, so that cleaned up all right, I guess. So I'm going to burn all this other stuff off. Yeah, I should be able to make a connection. It's going to be messy, but I can make a connection. Need some water from my soldering iron. That's a fuck ton of cells. Yes, that is actually a word, I do believe. 41 packs. I worked it out the other day. I've tested over 8,000 cells. I don't know exact numbers, but if I worked out the cells that the laptop batteries I've pulled apart at 8 cells each, there's about 8,000 cells I've gone through to find, what, 3,500 good ones. Now, that's a lot of cells. And to be honest, I could have used some of the lesser capacity ones, but I don't know. I had to go through that many to find all the blue ones. Wonder how many blue ones there is. Where's my calculator tool? So we've got 42 packs in total. Times it by 26 blue ones. 1,092 blue cells. No, is that right? Yeah, 1,092 blue cells. Cheerio, thanks again. I'll see you later, mate. Cheerio. I don't even know what that means. Anyway, it sounds old school. I need to do a live feed at like midnight on a Friday night. That's when my channel has the most amount of views. For some reason. I don't know. Maybe I should be dancing or something out here. Would that help? Make it more interesting? Actually, here's a good idea. Oh, come on, that's hot. Cheerios are cereal. Here's a pro tip. You don't have to solder both sides with fuses. Oh, sorry. You don't have to solder only one side with fuses. You can solder both sides. Rightio. That is almost looking better. So when are you changing over to spot welding? Oh, I'm going to do it. I'm going to pull all my packs apart. I'm going to restart it all tomorrow from scratch. Yeah. That's not going to happen. Rightio. I still have to work out what I'm going to do with this enormous pack. I worked it out to be roughly, there we go, we'll put it in camera, roughly the right size. But I am concerned, that's 4 or 5 kilos. I'm a bit concerned that I'm going to break my mount putting that much weight on it. Yet I don't have any single cell holders to actually make it just 6 wide rather than 8. 6 wide would be enough, I reckon. Probably think I'm going to have to take some out of that. I think it's going to be too big. Yeah, if I go to nickel strip, I'm still going to solder them. to be honest, I mean, I've had to pull a couple of these packs out. I know what these packs, I know what it takes to pull one of these packs out, strip it down, and have to redo it again. And I tell you what, I'd much rather be doing it soldered than welded on. I mean, how are you going to get this the fuse on there? The fuse is just not going to go on there. I think you'd actually put stress on the fuse where you had to put pressure on the fuse to spot weld it. I think just that pressure in that one spot would actually cause a weak spot in the fuse and cause it to be weaker than it would normally be. Well, that's what I think anyway. I don't know. I've never actually done it. That's my theory. Theories are good until they get proven wrong, I guess. Right now, back to the camera for a few minutes. As a side note, anybody new that's here, I've got the chat up on that computer, so I can still chat at the same time. But I go through and solder this, so I can turn the soldering on and off. Yes, they have got, nickel strip will have more resistance, but it's not going to matter. Once I go to 40 kilowatt hours, what's that? The maximum load per cell is 0.0. Don't quote me. I reckon will be 0.3 of an amp. So it's just, I don't think it's going to matter. I really don't. And I'm going to know whether it's going to matter because I'll do a 4,000 watt load test. And if they get warm, well, I had a bad idea. If they don't get warm or even, if they don't change temperature at all, we know it's a good idea. And this is killing me. It will have, I mean, but the nickel strip I can double over. I can do. The nickel strip I can double over and put 2 layers. And the nickel strip is 0.5 of a millimeter thick. And this is 0.55 of a millimeter thick. So if I simply double the nickel strip up, it's going to be fine. I think anyway. Well, in my own head. I mean, it sort of works for me. I might be wrong. I very well could be wrong. I got a dodgy tip because it's the only one I got. I had to grind it down. Yeah. Nickel's convenience. It's a little bit expensive to get over here, and I guess it's not even proper nickel. But I think these projects are all about saving as much money as you can and doing it however you can. So I don't know. We'll try. I think that's one of the things about my channel is I'll happily try something, even if it means I've got to do it twice. I've proven that a few times. It does drive me crazy, but well, it's what it takes, isn't it? Makes for a very boring video when I've got my back to you. I'm very sorry. continue to chat though. I've got the chat in front of me. But next time, I guess that's a possibility. I don't see. I didn't even notice they were bendy. I didn't even notice they were sort of tweaking because I was using a straight edge and cutting them all. It must have just been the force of putting the cut itself just sort of stretched the copper on one side or something. I don't know. There's lots of ways I could have done it. I did it wrong. I've done it wrong every time. I've done it that way every time. But the first lot of copper wasn't this thick and it wasn't annealed. This is much stronger copper. The first lot of copper out of the transformers was not annealed, so it was very easy to cut. But when you put it at the top of the battery pack up here, it often bent or torqued out of the way or whatever. So it didn't really work that well come the end of the day. Yep, learning is what I'm here for. University of YouTube. Everything I've learned is off YouTube. Everything. Oh, and Google. Google products in general. Yeah, they looked perfect. They felt like they were perfect, but obviously they weren't. What does your wife think about you learning only from YouTube and Google? Yeah, if it's on YouTube, it must be. Look, this girl can do it on YouTube. Stomp shear. Yes, that would be good. Having the right tools for the right job. But it doesn't matter. Live, learn, move forward, get it done. I would have been done by now if it had been straight like this. Yeah. Rightio. That is an abortion I don't want to put my name to. Right. Continuity test. Let's get some beeps. Okay. That's the worst pack I've ever done. Look at that mess. That is terrible. I turn it upside down. I can't see it and it doesn't exist. Job done. How am I straightening the bus bars out? Basically by force. On the positive, I'm fusing the positive side, but what I'm doing is every 5 cells, I'm putting the negative wire on there because it's heaps stronger. And then on the negative side, I fuse the sides that I missed on the other side. Use a little bit of ingenuity, but it's working. I'd like to know how to add a headphone jack to a new iPhone. Just drill a hole in it. Haven't you seen those videos? Oh yeah, sticky gooey stuff time again. Oh. I really think this tube is going to be a one-time use. They didn't have the smaller ones that I usually have in stock. Just keeps coming out. Rightio, now you have my undivided attention while that dries. Ask some riveting, in-depth questions. Let's see if we can get our viewers up about from 11. That's shocking. How do you reckon I should do the bus bars on this one? You reckon I should do the bus bars one here and then one there? Can't see that side, but we're going to say that's in the right place. And then connect this with a wire, a jumping wire? Or you reckon we do a bus bar all the way across the top and then put four bus bars down and have it all linked up? And then we just got the one hole that goes to the next one. What do you reckon? I actually think I'm going to take some cells out of that. I haven't done the calculations, but they're all like 2,000 milliamp hour cells. Early Sunday morning here. Sunday's almost done here. All the way. You reckon the bus bar all the way across? I was thinking about just doing another bus bar and putting holes in it and just drilling it. It'd be a lot easier to line up. I've got the copper to do it. This is going to be the next video. I'm just making this one pack. And then I'll do a little sub-series just checking this pack and everything and see how it goes. But because this is lower amp hour cells, I'm going to fuse both sides of this pack. Unless there's bits where I need to talk it over a bit. But yeah, so this pack's going to be done, fused both sides rather than just one. So I don't really trust the lower amp hour cells. I don't trust them as much at any rate. I think it's a fair call. But what the? What the heck? And he's back just like that. All right, we'll close it out because we need the undivided attention. We'll get rid of the calculator. Yeah, looking clean is important. It's got to be serviceable too. It'll drive me nuts, but I've made the pack so I can disconnect it. So I don't know how. I don't know whether this is even a good idea, this pack, or not. But I can disconnect it there, and then I can't disconnect it there. That self locks. I've intentionally done it this way. Every third time I pick the damn thing up, I pull it apart though, which drives me crazy. There'll be something to it. It'll work, I hope. Better. Probably should go and sit it in there and see if it bends it before I bother building it. I use 160 amp NCG or NGC fuses, big ones. I think they go up to 600 volt or something. They're by far the best ones I've found. Cheap, crappy ones from Jaycar are useless. As you would expect, really, I guess, eh? HRC fuses, yeah, that's the one. I knew it was something close to that. I didn't ask Google what it was. I should have. Good luck. You might have to angle your Wi-Fi router the right way. Oh, I got some finished. 2244, 2261. 2261, 2269. Awesome. More cells. Okay, on the AC side of your inverter, do you have 2 hot legs or 1? What do you mean by that? Like a dual pole, like on the positive and negative fused? Yes. I have positive, well, if that's what you mean. I have positive and negative fused everywhere. I got it fused on the shed roof, the DC on the shed roof. I got DC going into the battery shed, and then I've got a DC fuse coming out of the inverter, no, out of the charge controller into the batteries. And then I've got the big HRC fuse going into the DC into the inverter, and then out of the inverter, everything's fused again, AC wise. Hot plus neutral. Yep. Yep. Even all my changeover switches, even all my big changeover switches where I can change from either completely grid or going through the inverter when I had the choice, that cost me over $100, and that's a big dual pole thing. It's huge. The terminals are massive. Two hots, one neutral, one ground. I don't know what you mean, sorry. I'll ask the Sparky when he's next here. If he's not already watching, my phone doesn't ring. Tell you what, these battery packs are going to be nice and balanced. Three 386. 386. 386. 386. 386. 383. Why is that one so low? Ah, that's better. 383. 383. 382. 38. 383. 381. Wiggle more out a bit, give them a better connection. Single phase is 240 volt AC. The only option is three phase at 415. Oh, there you go. We have a new cell plan and have more Wi-Fi connections than we can use. Well, that's cool. One half phase. Now you're confusing me, dude. Yeah, for US split phase 240 volt, you can use transformer to get with two hot shots. There you go. Hi from England. I've been watching you for a few days. Very inspirational. You know, one of these people that watch all of my videos in 3 days, which is insane, but very appreciative. This doesn't get much work done. MPP three-phase inverter. Does that mean you need to have 3 inverters to run three-phase MPP solar? Three 48 volts in series? Parallel? Parallel. Keep getting that wrong. Soldering iron is on. I watched all your videos in 3 days, about a month after you started, but it seems like a much bigger accomplishment now. I really appreciate it. It's there's a whole social aspect to the YouTube channel as well, and then doing things like this, I enjoy as well. You can use 3 inverters for 3-page or a dedicated 3-phase inverter. Oh, there you go. If I had 3-phase to my house, I would have a lot more solar panels, because then legally I think I can put 10 or 15 kilowatt grid tie. Does all 18650 have a cut-off charge current? Yes, mine is at 4.1 volts at the moment. Once that goes in, it will be 4 volts or even 2.9 volts. I don't know yet. 3.9 volts. Four volts seems to be pretty good, because I only take the batteries down to 3.8 or 3.75 volts or something. Jeffrey, hi Pete. Hi Pete. Jeff in the UK. Can you hi to the family? Hi family, over the other side of the world, in our other colony. Seriously, one day I thought about doing this project, then Googled it. You beat it to me. Again, I've said this before, but without YouTube, this project wouldn't be as big as it was. You know, Jehu and a few other people that have tried to do it, but didn't really successfully do it. DIY UK Powerwall, the green one, Sean Lutzy, he had his online before I had mine online. So him and Chris Viral's dad had one online before I did. They're the only two that I actually know were documented and working before mine was. I don't know Jehu tried to do his, but you know, he's had other things pop up in his life, so he hasn't completed his project yet. It was a good little money spinner though. $300 for a Powerwall. Yay! That's a good keyword. I'm going to get 5 minutes worth of soldering done. Jehu's definitely has potential. But Jehu's a very busy man, which means projects like this that take an immense amount of time probably aren't on the cards so much. I really got to get this one soldered up. Is that way I can balance this pack overnight? I've still got to get some I like the EV West DIY Powerwall that Jehu showed. Yes, I really love that. The only thing I didn't like is when Jehu said that it was the most documented Powerwall or something. That did get me a little bit upset, but it's just marketing. It's just making money. That's all it is. So you get over that pretty quick. Considering Jehu at the time was subscribed to my channel and watched every video and we chatted. But it's still cool, and I still have to be bigger than him. I think his Powerwall's EV West is 33 kilowatt hours. I think. Yeah, very clean setup. I guess that's what EV West does, though. That's their calling card. It's professional. It's well thought out. It's laid out. I bet you they didn't do that overnight, and I bet you they didn't spend less than, I don't know, $15,000. But even at the time he said it, it wasn't very well documented commercial setup. The good thing about it, the brilliance of that setup is that you could buy everything off the shelf and bolt it up and it will work the same as theirs did. And it's genius. I love it. I think it's fantastic. I mean, the case that they put it in and everything mounts up and it just works. 33 kilowatt hours, that'd charge one, you know. The only shortfall on that system is the lack of solar panels. I reckon it would take 2 or 3 really good days of full sun to charge those batteries back up again. And I don't know, are they running a BMS? I don't even know if they're running a BMS or not. I can't remember if they're running a BMS. I should go and have another look. It's a very good video. It gets a lot of hits on that video. There's no 7 o'clock now in the evening. There's no more sun left. The grid tie inverter and the PCM60X are both not charging anymore. They shouldn't be. It's pitch black outside. Okay, UL list of enclosures. What's UL? Is that like is that like an American standard or something? Some of the Tesla BMS modules do balance even without connecting the thing. Oh, that's pretty cool. I didn't realize that. I wouldn't be surprised if EV West gets bought out by a really big company. UL tested. Oh, okay. There you go. We learned something new. Without UL, the insurance companies can disown you, yeah. Amp hours in your setup, 20,000. I don't know. Add 10,000 to what you see on the screen. I'm not looking at the screen. 16,000. 16,000 amp hours. So it's about 10,000 at 48 volt. So it's getting up there. There's another burn. They're almost mandatory. Almost mandatory. Back to me again. No more comments. I must be really boring people. I say that a lot. Oh. YouTube. Why is that pinned? Google. Audio. I really wish I could share more on here with statistics and stuff that Facebook did so other people know. I still don't know if I get in trouble for doing it. Revenue, real time. That's what I wanted. Real time. 8,800. That's not good. Oh, amp hours in your setup. Sorry, I thought you meant amp hours used. In use, I think they're about 200 amp hours per pack. So maybe 400 amp hours at the moment, and which is, incidentally, that's how I got that little BVM meter set up, is at 400 amp hours. And this will add another 200, so 600 amp hours at 48 volt. Reality of it is it sits around 54 volts, but that changes the equation a bit too. That's what you don't, anyways, doesn't matter. It is much like maths. Hey, that's not going to work too well. How do I do this? Take some solder off, take some weight off, some sticky stuff off. Now that works. A little bit of brute force never went astray. I really want to get this pack finished. I'm probably 10 minutes away from getting this pack finished. If I really hooked in. Because the negative side doesn't take anywhere near as long as the positive. There goes another burn. There's another one. Ow. Little tiny wire burns. That's not fun. Max amps capacity should be a number of cells in a pack. Average cell capacity, just one pack though, yes. So if you go, say 2 amp hours, well, maths, okay, calculator. Say 2.1 amp hours times 80 equals 168. There's probably 23 or 24 average amp hours in each one. So 2.3 times 80 equals 184. Yeah, I reckon 200 is a fair guess. And that's another good burn. Rightio. Yes, everything's plumber's solder. Again, because it's cheap. It was cheap and easy to get. Okay, have been involved with domestic systems that run 24 volts, 1000 amp hours, 2 volts per cell. Just comparing, yes. It's just another 12 batteries. I seriously think this little IMAX is having some trouble trying to charge all of these batteries. It's been running at 3 amps for 5 days solid. Since last Sunday. 7 days solid. And wait, I can't get it past 7 amps. Past 2 amps. It'd be good if you could get it to 6 amps or something. It must be just in the resistance and all the cables and stuff and like that. It sees that there's 4.2 volts and it ramps it down. I think it's substantially more efficient to run 48 volt. I don't have any details to back that up, but it does feel like I get more from the batteries at 48 volt than I ever did at 24 volt. And remembering I run the same amount of batteries on both setups. The same batteries on both setups. Right, I have 40 more solder joints to do on this pack. And we need some of that. Oh boy, does that feel good. Tiny IMAX, yeah. You probably got the original version or a knockoff. That's the version 2 or whatever it is. A lot less stressful on the cells too, but I imagine you're getting quite a bit more from with less amp draw. That's what I think it is. I think the efficiency comes from the fact that I'm just not hammering them all the time as hard. The shed with the inverter heats up more than the shed with the batteries. No, yes and no. In the last couple of days, it's been like 36, 38 degrees ambient temperature, degrees Celsius. That battery shed has actually warmed up quite a bit because that MPPT charge controller, those heat sinks get wicked hot. So much so I'm gonna have to find a small 48 volt fan or something and throw it on there. I'm gonna have to drill some holes in the back of the shed like I did the other shed to give it some natural airflow. But the battery shed is in the sun more than the power shed. The power shed's all right. I'm pretty happy with the power shed. I think I'm going to be more concerned with how cold it gets in winter than how hot it gets in summer. No, I don't think. There's not going to be any performance increase. It's just a matter of the capacity increase. I think there will be the effect, like we just said, with the draw on the battery. So I'll probably get a little bit more out of them, maybe another 2%, 5% more, but it won't be noticeable, I don't think. Let's put this pack up. Get it balancing very, very carefully. Oh, yeah. Negative. Positive. No sparks. That's always a good thing. There we go. 13 packs balancing. 13. Lucky 13. Okay, that wraps up where I wanted to be tonight. Now, if it's a cooler day tomorrow, I'll video making that big pack and try and make that into something that resembles something watchable. Yeah, 7:30. Enough burns to be embarrassed. Almost no snacks left. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you very much for the 12, 10, 9, 8 diehard people that have decided to chill with me. I do appreciate it. It's good fun. I'll see you next weekend when I do another one. Ah, here we go. Sorry, I'm new to this. How do we balance the batteries and why? You balance the batteries because they're not like a lead battery and that you can't just cram power into them and they boil it off. The power has to go somewhere. And if you don't balance them, they overcharge and catch on fire. Then the house burns down. And then there's videos on YouTube. And then Pete's to blame for everything. That may be a really big overstatement. But you need to balance, and go and have a look at some of my other videos. There's heaps of stuff on balancing and all that sort of stuff. But basically, they're all 3.7 volt packs, so they're all joined positive and then negative. So they're all going to be exactly the same voltage. So when you charge and discharge them, they stay at the same voltage. Otherwise, one might drop down a little bit further. If it's a lower capacity pack, then it'll charge up further, and then it'll charge down, and then it actually goes up too high and either discharges too much or overcharges and then causes issues. So that's why you balance. Yeah, next Sunday is usually my days to do lots of ridiculously long YouTube feeds. But anyway, thanks for chilling out. I'll see you later.